Here's some of the most interesting facts you probably didn't know. The scientific term for brain freeze is sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia. Canadians say sorry so often that a law was passed in 2009 declaring that an apology can't be used as evidence of admission to guilt. Back when dinosaurs existed, there used to be volcanoes erupting on the moon. The only letter that doesn't appear on the periodic table is J. One habit of intelligent humans is being easily annoyed by people around them, but saying nothing in order to avoid meaningless argument. In 2006, a Coca-Cola employee offered to sell Coca-Cola secrets to Pepsi. Pepsi responded by notifying Coca-Cola. There were 2 AI chatbots created by Facebook to talk to each other, but they were then shut down after they started communicating to each other in a language they made for themselves. Nintendo trademarked the phrase, "It's on like Donkey Kong" in 2010. Calling shotgun when riding in a car comes from the term shotgun messenger. This term was used to refer to a guard who sat next to the stagecoach driver. The guards would use a shotgun to keep robbers and criminals away. It made its way into society due to Hollywood's love of Western flicks. The famous line in Titanic from Leonardo DiCaprio, "I'm king of the world," was improvised. A single strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto. There is actually a difference between coffins and caskets. Coffins are typically tapered and 6-sided, while caskets are rectangular. Sunflowers can help clean radioactive soil. Japan is using this to rehabilitate Fukushima. Almost 10,000 packets of sunflower seeds have been sold to the people of the city. To leave a party without telling anyone is called a French exit in English. In French, it's called a partie l'anglaise, to leave like the English. If you cut down a cactus in Arizona, you can be penalized up to 25 years in jail. It is similar to cutting down a protected tree species. The Buddha, commonly depicted in statues and pictures, is a different person entirely. The real Buddha was actually incredibly skinny because of self-deprivation. In Colorado, there is still an active volcano. It last erupted about the same time as the pyramids were being built in Egypt. The first movie to ever put out a motion picture soundtrack was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. If you point your car keys to your head, it increases the remote signal range. This works by using your brain to act as a radio transmitter. In order to protect themselves from poachers, African elephants have been evolving without tusks, which unfortunately also hurts their species. The scientific name for giant anteater is Myrmecophaga tridactyla. This means anteater with 3 fingers. Originally, cigarette filters were made out of cork, the look of which is still incorporated into today's patterns. In 1923, a jockey suffered a fatal heart attack, but his horse finished and won the race, making him the first and only jockey to ever win a race after death. At birth, a baby panda is smaller than a mouse. Iceland does not have a railway system. The largest known prime number has 17,425,170 digits. The new prime number is 2 multiplied by itself 57,885,161 times, minus 1. Forrest Fenn, an art dealer and author, hid a treasure chest in the Rocky Mountains worth over $1 million. It still has not been found. The lead singer of The Offspring started attending school to achieve a doctorate in molecular biology while still in the band. He graduated in May 2017. The world's largest grand piano was built by a 15-year-old in New Zealand. This piano is a little over 18 feet long and has 85 keys, 3 short of the standard 88. In order to keep the Nazis away, a Polish doctor faked a typhus outbreak. This strategy saved 8,000 people. After the release of the 1996 film Scream, which involved an anonymous killer calling and murdering his victims, caller ID usage tripled in the United States. The spiked dog collar was invented by the ancient Greeks to protect their dogs from wolf attacks. Jack Daniel, the founder of the whiskey, died by kicking a safe. When he kicked it, he broke his toe, which got infected. He eventually died from blood poisoning. There is a boss in Metal Gear Solid 3 that can be defeated by not playing the game for a week, or by changing the date. The Roman-Persian Wars are the longest in history, lasting over 680 years. They began in 54 BC and ended in 628 AD. Elton John tried to commit suicide once by sticking his head in an oven with the gas on low and windows open. He was found and stopped by his best friend, Bernie Taupin. If you translate Jesus from Hebrew to English, the correct translation is Joshua. The name Jesus comes from translating the name from Hebrew to Greek to Latin to then English. Ed Sheeran bought a ticket to LA with no contacts. He was spotted by Jamie Foxx, who offered him the use of his recording studio and a bed in his Hollywood home for 6 weeks. German chocolate cake is named after an American baker by the name of Samuel German. It has no affiliation with the country of Germany. The first service animals were established in Germany during World War I. References to service animals date as far back as the mid-16th century, though. An 11-year-old girl proposed the name for Pluto after the Roman god of the underworld. The voice actor of SpongeBob and the voice actor of Karen, Plankton's computer wife, have been married since 1995. An Italian banker, Ghiberto Basquera, is considered a modern-day Robin Hood. Over the course of 7 years, he secretly diverted €1 million to poorer clients from the wealthy ones so they could qualify for loans. He made no profit and avoided jail in 2018 due to a plea bargain. Octopuses and squids have beaks. The beak is made of creatine, the same material that a bird's beak and our fingernails are made out of. An estimated 50% of all gold ever mined on Earth came from a single plateau in South Africa, Witwatersrand. 75% of the world's diet is produced from just 12 plants and 5 different animal species. The original Star Wars premiered on just 32 screens across the US in 1977. This was to produce buzz as the release widened to more theaters. The British government coined the slogan, "Keep calm and carry on," during World War II in order to motivate citizens to stay strong. Apple paid a couple $1.7 million for their plot of land, which was only worth $181,000. While Apple was building a huge data center in the middle of North Carolina, they wanted to occupy the area of a couple that lived there for 34 years. When the couple refused to leave, Apple paid them $1.7 million for their land.